A couple things came up, and I appreciate you holding the space. But one of the previous speakers spoke on some one-on-one courses that she had, and it really triggered a few thoughts for me that I think may be for the good of the group. First, this idea that what is simple is not always easy. This idea that I'm just going to create a course and I've got tons of experience in this area, so I'll just put a few things together and it should be straightforward. But those of us who have tons of experience and have done this time and time again and for years, and as Christelle says, we've got results in this area, that makes us very familiar with this thing that we have to deliver. And sometimes we confuse the familiar with the obvious. And so for the learner for the first time, and I think the example she gave was the vision board, and she's done vision boards and she knows how to go and where to get the stuff and all of that. But for the other person, it's not so obvious. It's just that you're very familiar with this particular thing. And I think a lot of us instructors make a lot of assumptions. I've done it in my own career, especially early on, because I am a biochemist. One of the main things is the difference between a good teacher and a great teacher is this idea that is it that the teacher is teaching, or are they creating an experience such that the learner is learning? And I hope I'm okay to use this as an example. I don't mean to be personal with it, but it's a great example. This idea of the vision board. When I give the assignment and then a week goes by and there's all these excuses and another week goes by and we still don't have results, at that point, once again, am I the teacher teaching, or is it about the learner learning? So I have to ask myself, okay, what is the barrier here to engagement, right? Is it that they just need a little bit of money to for me to supply the materials? I had one student, and I'll try to land quickly, who would never bring a pencil. It was almost like a thing between us. He would never bring his pencil, and I gave him all these analogies. The cop who doesn't bring his gun, and the doctor who doesn't bring the this and that. You got to have a pencil, bro. And it just got to the point that it was like, okay, if I want the learner to learn, I have to remove the barriers to his success. So it became a thing. Now, here's your pencil. Give me your cell phone. So now we engage in this exchange so that he can. And so I think that becomes important as we think about why our people are not actually completing these online courses to the degree of 97 to 99%. Where are the barriers? And when we get that data point, okay, it's been 2 weeks and I've heard about the this or the that or the other, right? Is it the money? Is it the fear, the anxiety, the setting? Is it too much of an ask? So I need to break it down into smaller parts. When we get that data, how do we then use that data to create the pivot so that our learner can learn? And so I think that's one of the most important parts is that while you're along the way, create data points, just like Christelle was talking about. She has this survey so that she can collect the data so that she can customize the experience. Why? Because her priority is the learner learning and not just the teacher teaching, because then she could just create a bunch of videos and just post them. And then it's up to you. And then her students will be part of that 97%. And so that's what I really want to hone in on in this upcoming room is what kind of data are we as edu creators in this space? What kind of data should we be collecting? What can the data tell us? How do we use that data to create the best experience for our students, for our learners?